Hi there, back again. Okay, I'm really excited to share this with you because I think for me it's really practical and it helped change me forever. You know, this is one of those things that I did in my life that I realized took me to another level. Now, if you don't know what I'm talking about, please just watch the last video or the video before, because we're talking about doing that rewiring and the first process I'm going to share with you today. So I hope you've got pen and paper and I hope you're ready to go. So be in a safe space, turn your phone off, get a cup of tea. It's going to take a little while, but it'll be worth it. It'll be worth it. And your experience, I can't promise you that. All I'm saying is do it. Let your experiences reveal it to yourself. No one can tell you what's going to happen. You have to experience it first and foremost. So, okay, so this is the thing. I want you to take a piece of paper and I want you to write on that piece of paper 4 to 6 things that brought you a lot of negativity in your life, thoughts and feelings. So, for example, your family of origin. You know, your mum and dad might have been very immature, addicted to something, depressed. They might have been going through trauma, from unresolved trauma from their own past. They might have also lost parents, so being grieving. So they weren't always there. And let's face it, back in the day, we were all seen and not heard generation. So a lot of the time we were just left to get on with it or very controlled. And so a lot of that would have left you with this certain way of thinking and feeling about yourself. If you were neglected, which a lot of us were, because parents were just trying to put food on the table, and it was in the day when we weren't really given that much respect or time or energy. We were just children. We were imagined that we didn't really know what we were talking about, and they needed to train us, very much so. So I want you to write down family of origin. Now you can put a few by subtitles around that: addiction, parents, like grieving, depressed, mental illness, and just to remind you. But we're not going to buy into it. We're not going to really look deeply into it. I just want you to put it on the paper. Now, other things that impacted you. Maybe you lost a parent. Maybe you had a car accident. Maybe you got sexually abused. Maybe you got physically abused. Maybe you got bullied. So these are all things that you could put on your list. So as you grew up, maybe you formed an addiction. So that would perhaps have impacted you in a negative way. Maybe you had a really crappy relationship with someone and experienced domestic violence. So obviously there's a lot of things that can impact on you and leave you feeling sad, depressed, lonely, abandoned, rejected, all of that. So you're just going to put some titles, 4 to 6 things that may. Now, I think the tragedy of a lot of people is like, nothing really bad happened to me. You know, my family were lovely and I haven't had anything. And I kind of, people will come in that and say that I've got no reason. I shouldn't feel this way. And I just hear that shouldn't, and I realize that harsh judge, well, because I've got no reason, I've got no right. Now, that's a tricky one because a lot of people, they need to know, well, if something happened, that's fair enough. And I worked with a lot of people in addiction, and they'll go into the NA and AA rooms and like, yeah, but I haven't been through what they went through. And I'm, well, thank God you haven't. You wants to go through what they've been through. It might have been horrific. And so therefore, what does that mean? Well, it means I'm not supposed to feel the way I do. And in that sense, you are doing yourself such a grave disservice. Do not compare yourself with anybody, not one person. And this is what we do. We tend to compare. Oh, well, I'm not as good as them. I'm not as pretty as them. I'm not as intelligent as them. I haven't been through as much as them. Therefore, I shouldn't feel the way I do. I'm sorry, but that's not how it works. You feel the way you do. And maybe you're depressed because maybe you just feel like life feels fucking pointless. Maybe you've got everything you've ever wanted. You've got the nice house. You've got the money in the bank. You've got the beautiful wife. You've got the kids. And still, you feel this emptiness inside. If that's you, that's okay. Just write down fucking perfect life and now I am just miserable because I feel ungrateful. So it doesn't matter what it is. If you've got nothing on that list, doesn't matter. Okay, so you've got your 4 to 6 things that you've written down. You might need to pause this and think about it. Write those things down. Do so. I'll be here when you come back. Okay, so you've written those things down. Now underneath, I want you to write how those experiences left you thinking and feeling about yourself. So, and I'm going to put a list under this video, a list of negative words. Now, you're going to take some time, and I know this might not be easy, and well, nothing worth doing ever is it? So do it anyway, because I tell you what, when you start to know it and own it, you can start to transform it. So all those things left you feeling abandoned, angry, anxious, upset, lonely, rejected, shameful, not good enough, I'm not enough. Maybe they left you feeling unintelligent, stupid, ugly, unworthy, undeserving, unlovable, unlikable. So the list of words has got all those negative words. Now I want you to take that list, and through every word, if you can relate to it at some point in your life, I then want you to rate it. One is, I've never felt abandoned at all. So the number would be 1, or even 0 if you've never felt abandoned. If you felt abandoned a lot, then put 10. But it might be something in between. So maybe 6, you might put 5 on it. So for every word that you relate to, now try not to use your head to do this. Try and use your heart. Connect with your body, because a lot of the time people go, but rationally I know I'm lovable, rationally know I'm intelligent, rationally know I'm actually quite attractive, rationally I know that, but do you feel it? You see, thinking and feeling is two very different things. Oh yeah, well I know there are people out there that love me, but do you feel loved? And so when you do that list of negative words, I want you to connect with this part, not necessarily this part, because rationally your brain will tell you, of course there's people that love you, of course there's people that are there for you, of course you shouldn't feel this way. I'm sorry, but this isn't where we can't listen to this. We've got to listen to the body and the heart, the 95%. Remember, we talked about the 95, the subconscious part of you, because that's what we need to change, not this. Because rationally, you know, there's probably there people that love you, but you don't feel loved. So go through the rest of the list and mark it. 1 being not at all, 10 being, yeah, I feel this way a lot. So you need to turn this off, stop the video, go check out that list, and come back when you've completed that list. And I know that's not easy, so be brave, be courageous, you know, like just do it, okay? So, you're back. Did you write that list? Has it shocked you? Did you tick? I mean, I've worked with people that have basically ticked every single box and scored it really high. Because when we connect with this is going to be much more honest than this. This is going to lie to you. This is just going to want to tell you, you should be grateful. You should know there's people out there for you. And so don't rely on this, connect with this. So well done, that's not easy to do, well done. Okay, I want you to tap into your body. How did it feel to kind of recognize, be aware, own it, and then put a figure on it? Like, you know, gauge it. How much of that do I actually feel? Breathe into it, allow those feelings, whatever they are. Be curious about this process. Now, I want to share something, because this is really important. You didn't choose any of this. It is not your fault that maybe mum and dad were too busy to spend time with you, or they did what they did. So this is about you realizing all those things you wrote on the top, they weren't your choice. No one says, I want to be an addict when I grow up, I want to do this one. No, this wasn't your choice. So but you've got to own it. You've got to own it for the reason that then you can transform it. Now you're in the power of, this is what I didn't choose, but I want to put you back into where you do choose, where you get to choose. And we're going to rewire your subconscious the same way it was wired. So now we're going to write, so you've got your little list of negatives, right? And this is going to help us, because if you scored unhappy 10 out of 10, then the opposite of that is going to be happy. And I know some people go, yeah, right. But if we take the thought that a belief is just a thought you keep thinking. If you keep thinking a more positive thought, you'll ultimately start to believe it. Now, you've thought I'm unhappy, or you felt it along the way, and so now you start to believe it, and now it becomes a reality in your life. And so we're going to flip that script over to where you get to choose. And this is your permission slip. This is your permission slip. If you will do it, allow it, want it, take part in it, commit to it, because this is a bit of a commitment. So just get rid of that. Anyway, so now you've got your negative list, and now we're going to flip it over, and I want you to choose 30 positive words, the opposite of what you've put. So alone, I belong, unworthy, worthy, unimportant, important. So some of them are easy. Unworthy, worthy, stupid, intelligent, ugly, attractive, can't be what I want, can be what I want, haven't got good boundaries, healthy boundaries, anger. Now the anger is interesting, because I think a lot of people will think anger, the opposite of anger is calm or peace. I actually don't think it is. I think it's assertiveness. You know, a lot of people are angry because they have they can't articulate how they feel, they can't articulate what they want, they have reduced their needs to nothing, they've become needless, and so they never are coming through for themselves. They're actually betraying themselves on some level. So the opposite of anger might be assertive, confident, strong, empowered, able to get their needs met. Don't know who I am, know who I am. So you get the gist, right? So I'll put a list of negative, positive. So your job now is to turn this off and list out those positive words. 30, okay? Go do that now. Okay, so we're back. So you've listed out your 30 positive words, and now I need you to put them into one sentence. 3 of them into one sentence. So I'm happy, healthy and whole. So say you've picked those words, then I want you to write a sentence that says I'm happy, healthy and whole. Maybe the other one is I'm worthy, deserving and cared for. So you're going to write 10 sentences using up all your 30 words. So 30 words divided by 10 is 3 words in each sentence. And so I'm lovable, accepting of self and others. I'm confident, assertive, empowered. I'm strong, capable, competent. I'm loving, caring, know who I am. Okay, so now you list them into 10 sentences. So turn the video off and do that now. Okay, you've got your 10 sentences. Now you can write them out, type them out, print off 2. One you're going to cut up into strips, the other one you're going to leave whole. Now this is the tough bit. This is the bit you know you're going to be challenged to do. I want you to read that script as fast as you possibly can, 50 times every single day. Now if you time yourself doing it once as fast as you can, maybe you do it in 15 seconds. So if you times that by 50 and then divide it by 60, it should give you the amount of time it's going to take you. Now I think that's quite important, because then you can time yourself. You can divide that by 10 and you'll see how long it will take you to do one sentence at a time. So it usually takes 1 to 2 minutes to do one sentence 50 times. And the reason I got you to print off 2 and cut one up is because you can read that one 50 times, that I'm confident, capable and strong 50 times, or you can read the whole thing 50 times. Do you understand what I'm saying there? So you can do it 2 ways. And the thing is, if you cut them up, so if you got in the car or anything like that, and you can just put a little bag or a little bowl with all your little 10 sentences in. Now you just pick one out when you've stopped at the, don't be looking while you're driving, but when you've stopped looking, waiting for the red light to change, you can just quickly, I'm happy, healthy and confident, whatever it is, and then you can put that down. Or this side, this the other side of the car. I'm happy, healthy and confident. I'm happy, healthy and confident. Just glance at the clock, because you want to time yourself for 2 minutes, and say it for 2 minutes, and then you do the next one. So if you're in the car for 15 or 20 minutes, you'd have done those 50 sentences. I know as people, we're busy, we've got things to do, we haven't always got the time to do this, and you do have to read them out loud so your ears can hear, because the only voice you ever really believe is your own. So that's your challenge, that is your homework, to read those sentences out 50 times every day for 6 weeks, and that is the amount of time it takes to create a new neural pathway in your brain. So remember, we talked about the forest and the trees, and where you've walked down that path, a zillion times, we're going to create that other path in the forest, and this is what it takes. 50 times every single day. So a belief is just a thought you keep thinking. So if you keep thinking, I'm happy, whole, content, whatever it is you've written, I'm healthy, assertive and strong, that thought will start to become a belief. And this is one way that you can change your subconscious. And so, and a lot of the time our set point is, you know, I'm this, I'm crap, I'm this, I'm stupid, I'm miserable, I'm ugly. But as you do this, your set point changes and it moves up, because your mind will automatically bring those negatives. But as you change the script inside your head, you won't ever go back to that. You'll go to this, which is your set point. And so this is how we make long-lasting changes. Now, this takes effort. And when I'm working one-on-one with a client, I'll often say to that client, when your mind comes in and says, I don't want to do this, I want you to tell that part of you, I know you don't want to do it, but we're going to do it anyway. Because it's a bit like anything. You don't always want to get up and go to work or brush your teeth or make dinner or any of that, but you do it, don't you? And so this is about building that sort of ability to push through you not wanting to do something and do it anyway, because you know ultimately it's kind of going to be good for you. You know, eating your greens and all that. It's ultimately going to be good for you. So I challenge you to do what I've asked you to do and to read it out every day for 6 weeks. Now, just a couple of things. Preferably first thing in the morning. You can do it all in one go, or you can break it up into segments, do 10 in the morning, 10 in the afternoon, as long as you've done it before 6 p.m. at night. Now, if you want to tape you doing it and listen to it again more than that at night, you can do that. Do whatever you want. But this is what I suppose this is the basic of it, is read it 50 times every day before 6 o'clock out loud so your ears can hear. Now you can, as I said, look at one, don't be driving and looking, you know, make sure you stop before you get the next sentence. And that way you can do it there. You can walk and read. You can put it on the outside of your shower. I did this, right? To be able to teach you to do this, I did this. I would do it while I was washing up. I'd put it in behind the faucet and I would say it, and I didn't care. And so I would encourage you, if you're a bit embarrassed or feel a bit silly, just tell people, actually, my therapist told me to do this and this is what I'm doing. And just don't give a shit, really, because who cares what anybody else thinks? This is about you. This is about you putting yourself first and making yourself a top priority. Now, after every week of that 6 weeks, I just want you to gauge how you're feeling about the script. Are you starting to believe? Because you won't believe you're loved and cared for and confident and beautiful and attractive and intelligent. You won't, because you've been thinking for a long time that you're not, right? And so I want you to, it just happens. This is what's interesting about change. You know, when people go, oh, you've got to do something. And change happens on the inside. The only thing we want to do is change the way we think about ourselves. And this is about doing our work and doing this religiously every single day as part of a commitment to yourself. A bit like brushing your teeth, eating good, showering is part of your everyday. Now, that's the challenge, to do it for 6 weeks. And I know it's a bit of a big commitment. And also what I usually say is, if I have a client face to face, I'll often say, if you haven't done it, then don't bother coming back. Because I have to hold you to account. You have to do this. You need to do this because you deserve to be happy and well. And you know what? You do your bit, and I'm telling you, it will just happen in spite of you, because a belief is just a thought you keep thinking. So I'm going to try and add this to this video because I haven't done that before. So please forgive me. If I haven't managed to, please just email me on my email, and I will send you those 2 sheets. Okay, the negative script and the positive, so you can pick words off it, or you can just make up your own. You don't have to have mine. You can just make up your own. Maybe you've got enough. I know a lot of people, they kind of, you know, they struggle to think about it all. But anyway, do your best. Good luck. Any problems, just give me a little message and I will get back to you. see how you go. So the next one I'm going to do is another way of rewiring that subconscious, a little bit different to this one, but good luck, all the best, take care, bye for now.